Hello YouTube. I'll tell you today about an ancient Greek shipwreck carrying unusual metal that was discovered by a team of divers off southern Sicily at the end of 2014. The mythical lost metal of Atlantis, this is what we're speaking about. The mystical, magical metal which propelled Atlantis to the heights of ancient technology. And it was discovered in that shipwreck. 39 ingots of orichalcum, a cast metal, which is associated with the lost city of Atlantis, have been recovered from that 6th century before Common Era shipwreck, which is off the coast of Gela in southern Sicily. The lumps of metal were discovered by a team of divers in that ship that sank on its way to Gela, probably coming from Greece or Asia Minor. The ship seems to have been caught in a storm and sunk just outside the port. It was found about 1,000 feet from Gela's coast at a depth of 10 feet, according to the superintendent of the sea office, Sebastiano Tusa. And again, the itinerary that the archaeologists believe the ship was following was from Greece or Asia Minor, and it was carrying orichalcum. The findings are considered to be unique, as orichalcum, known from ancient texts and a few ornamental objects, has been a metal widely debated regarding its composition and its origin, with scholars arguing that it might have even originated from the Peruvian Alps. Well, today most scholars agree orichalcum is a brass-like alloy which was made in antiquity by cementation. This process was achieved with the reaction of zinc ore, charcoal, and copper metal in a crucible. Atlantis, according to Plato's texts, was supposed to be flashing with the red light of orichalcum. After X-ray fluorescent analysis by Dario Panetta of Technologies for Quality, the 39 ingots were discovered to have an alloy of 75 to 80% copper, 15 to 20% zinc, and a small percentages of nickel, lead, and iron. As Tusa said, the findings confirm that Gela was a wealthy city with craftsmen specialized in the production of artifacts, and the 39 ingots were to be used in high-quality decorations. So the findings would offer valuable information on Sicily's ancient economic history. Sicily is a very interesting island, and with a diversity in population going back for millennia. And my advice, read up now about this. Very interesting. And I'll come back to some other interesting phenomena found on the island in other videos. So Tusa's team, they plan to excavate the shipwreck and bring to light the entire cargo. Because they knew about orichalcum from ancient texts and a few ornamental objects, according to Sebastiano Tusa. And he said that nothing similar has ever been found. To separate the myth from the metal in Atlantis has long been a debating point among archaeologists. Tusa himself did not commit, preferring to say at the time that more analysis was needed to be done and the wreck should be fully excavated. And then came the news from a few years later, from 2017. You see, the same underwater archaeologists discovered orichalcum ingots, a masolite round-bottomed tusk, and 2 Corinthian bronze helmets off the Sicilian coast, investigating the shipwreck that yielded similar finds in December of 2014. The 47 ingots were discovered in 2017, in addition to the 39 orichalcum lumps that had been found at the same location from the same shipwreck about 2 years prior to that. The ship had sunk 2,600 years ago off the coast of Bulala, that's near the ancient city of Gela. And Two more archaic shipwrecks have been found in the same area. The total of ingots retrieved from the shipwreck established the value of the value that the alloy had in ancient times, and was considered precious only second to gold. Dario Panetta again examined the newly discovered ingots with the use of X-ray fluorescence. And again, the results of the tests show that metal is made with 57 to 80% copper, 15 to 20% zinc, and small proportions of iron, lead, and nickel. In antiquity, the alloy was made by cementation. The items vary in shape, weight, and length from 17 centimeters to 32 centimeters, and 254 gram to 1,340 gram. Archaeologists also found two Corinthian bronze helmets, very interesting but common feature in shipwrecks of the time, since helmets and weapons were used against pirate attacks. They might also have been used as an offer to the gods. Now, legends about Atlantis indicate that in addition to gold and silver, its inhabitants mined orichalcum, and it's a very valuable metal that is currently absent in nature. It was ancient Greek philosopher Plato who made the metal and its Atlantean homeland famous when he mentioned it in his Critias dialogue. Even in the Critias, it was written in 360 AD by Plato, orichalcum was a metal that was mentioned only in legends. People of that time only knew its name. In the dialogues, Plato wrote that the temples of Cleito and Poseidon were completely lined with orichalcum, silver, and gold. That's interesting. Again, in particular, he said that the ancient temple of Poseidon in Atlantis glinted with the red light of orichalcum, covering its surfaces. At its heart was an orichalcum pillar, onto which Poseidon laws were engraved. The metal, like the civilization, slipped beneath the waves, never to be seen again in a cataclysmic event in antiquity. While its invention is attributed to Cadmus, the first king of Thebes, who also happened to be an alchemist, Plato's writings have reinforced its association with Atlantis. So Atlantis itself, considered to be mythical, has since been tied to ruins of an ancient outpost of the Minoan civilization found on the volcanic island of Santorini. And orichalcum, well, in modern times, you can find mentions of it as a magical metal used in armor and swords. Since there is no such metal in the periodic table, it is definitely not an independent element. That is why there has been so much controversy over its formula for centuries. The only evidence of this material says that it had a red tint and was akin to copper. According to its formula, orichalcum is similar to brass, which is also an alloy of copper and zinc. But brass was known for many centuries before the first mention of the precious metal appeared. So, legend has it that the alloy was composed of copper, gold, and silver. The metal found in the wreck, while matching the look, does not match this recipe. The time of the shipwreck rules out Atlantis, according to scientists. Plato, who was writing in the 4th century BC, implies that legendary city slipped beneath the waves many thousands of years earlier. So archaeologists now believe that orichalcum is an alloy similar to brass. But still, orichalcum is considered to be an unexplored material in our time, but its existence confirms the very rapid development and long prosperity of the city of Gela, which since 689 BC was completely filled with craft workshops, and which in turn were engaged in the production of luxury goods for wealthy households. Tusa Orichalcum may not be as exotic as the ancient tales suggest, though it was almost certainly mysterious to many of the jewelers who formed it and sold it. The process of its production was likely to have been a tightly held secret, and it still is a matter of debate how it was achieved. Whatever the case, the shiny brass-like alloy was highly regarded as it did not tarnish, and it was durable enough to be used in jewelry. And who knows what else it was used in. What other technologies we have no idea about. But as for the Sicilian archaeologist Sebastiano Tusa, he perished in 2019 in a plane crash after leaving the superintendency of the sea. In April of 2018, he was appointed counselor for the cultural heritage by the president of the Sicilian region. From 2000 until his death, Tusa was a professor of marine archaeology during a 3-year stint in Triponti University of Palermo. He was also a professor of paleontology at the Orsola Benincasa University of Naples and a lecturer of the School of Arts and Humanistics at the University of Bologna. In the academic year 2015-2016, he also was a professor at the Philipps University of Marburg in Germany. Tusa was one of the 157 people killed in the crash of the Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 in March of 2019. The plane was flying from Addis Ababa to Nairobi, and he was heading to Malindi, where he was invited to attend a conference organized by UNESCO. Imagine the discoveries that are yet to be made with the development of archaeology, or I should say technologies for the use in archaeological research, including satellites. When more public money will be spent on such research than on wars, we might find out more about Atlantis and whether it had outposts in other parts of the world, like near the island of Rashua in the Russian Far East. You can find out more in my video about it, and the link is in the description to this video. So maybe one day there will be more discoveries off the coast of Jela and elsewhere. Thank you for your attention to my work. I like to bring interesting updates about archaeological discoveries, and if you like my videos, please subscribe to my channel, please like my videos, and if you can support my research, you will see how to do it in the links in the description to this video.